It's a big night inside historic Titan Gymnasium as we welcome you on a rainy Thursday evening in Fullerton, California. The University of Hawaii gracing us with their presence inside the friendly confines, and boy, is it going to be a good game. Mike Martinez, Jonathan Rifkin, delighted to be with you, and Mike, you could feel the energy. This has big game written all over it.
Jonathan, let me tell you something. If the players in the game today were watching the NFL Pro Bowl Skills Challenge today, they're going to be ready for some competition because I know I am.
Well, I don't know if they're going to quite be playing tug-of-war out there at midcourt, but it might be a proverbial tug-of-war with the back-and-forth play that Hawaii and Fullerton typically show us on the hardwood. Let's get to our standings here, brought to you by SA Recycling. The Big West, it's tight at the top, and right now, UC San Diego is taking on CSUN. This has implications for this game, because the winner, if Fullerton wins this game, they'll jump ahead of CSUN in that middle part of the standings. Hawaii needs to win this game to be tied for that 6th seed, and we know how important getting into the top 4 is come Big West tournament time. How are they going to do it? Well, it's going to be riding the shoulders of their big offensive powerhouses. Noel Coleman here for the University of Hawaii, brought to you by Brewery X, by the way, and DJ Bruton, who has been the bulk of the offense for the Titans at the guard position in conference play. And our keys to the game brought to you by Titan Shop. Smash that QR code, get your Titan apparel, and look at swaggy as the fans here inside historic Titan Gymnasium. For Hawaii, it's dominate the glass. Titans typically aren't on the upper hand side of these rebounding totals in these games. So for Hawaii, win the glass. And for Cal State Fullerton, high percentage shots and try to get Hawaii to shoot on the perimeter. Titans in their home whites, orange numbers, with a little orange tread as well. Hawaii has the chevrons on the side, and the road greens are starters as the Titans maintain possession to open up the ball game. It's going to be Vincent Lee, Max Jones, Torrey San Antonio, John Mikey Square, and DJ Bruton, the typical starting 5 for the 11th year head coach Dedrick Taylor. Here's Vince Lee now on the high post. He's working against De Silva. Lefty flip for Lee is too hard. And our Hawaii lineup under the helm of Aran Ganot in his 9th season. What a job he has done with Hawaii. It's going to be Justin McCoy, Noel Coleman, Juan Munoz, Bernardo De Silva, and Tommy Beatty. Hawaii is 11-10, 3-6 here in conference, fresh off a win against Cal Poly, Mike, and hoping to try and continue with some momentum from that game.
They got the win. It was a slow start, though. They had a lot of fumbles, a little indecision early on. Let's see if they handle things a little better to start.
Too hard for Bernardo De Silva, the senior from Brazil, who's averaging 11 points per game, and bodies collide. But prior to that, Max Jones traveled. Turnovers have been a problem early in games for the Titans. They need to shore that up.
Yeah, so it's two teams that want to start the games a little better than they've been starting them.
These two teams played a low-scoring game to end 2023, 63-61. The Titans won on the road. No Max Jones in that game as well.
That was an important note that Dedrick Taylor immediately brought up to me about today, that no Max Jones. So we'll see if the Titans score a little better than 63.
Justin McCoy, a 37% three-point shooter, can't get it. DJ Bruton on the counter, hangs and hits, and we are underway. Titans lead 2-0, a minute 20 into the action.
Player to watch, DJ Bruton gets the scoring started. You got to like that.
Leading the team with 14.5 points per game. He's actually averaging closer to 17 here in conference play. Had 17 points last game in the win against Cal State Bakersfield. Back to the basket for De Silva. And now the swing around the perimeter. This is Juan Munoz, the grad transfer from Longwood University. Gets it back in the corner, hoists up a triple, can't get it to fall. Rebound to Max Jones.
That's in and out, but you see the quick release by Munoz. That's something Dedrick Taylor's a little bit worried about today. That shot comes out really fast, so he doesn't need a lot of space, and he can knock him down too.
Max Jones, his point per game average has taken a bit of a dip, and he turns it over for a second time. 2 minutes in, 2 turnovers for the Titans, 2 points for the Titans, and a couple of breaks with a couple of three-pointers that have gone in and out for Hawaii.
That's the way it's been going in conference play. Their three-point percentage is kind of on the low side, maybe about 30% as a team in the conference games. It kind of explains the slow start through the first month of league play for Hawaii.
Hawaii is 5th in the conference in three-point shooting at 32%, all the way to the cup, up and in for Nono Coleman. That is his nickname, the senior from Belgium. Started his career at the University of San Diego, and a couple of really good seasons for Hawaii. Big West honorable mention a season ago, a second-teamer back in the 21-22 campaign. San Antonio, he has been Not shy to shoot the mid-range so far since he's come back from injury. Hasn't been falling consistently for him, but when he can get hot, really helps this team out. Mikey Square with 7 on the clock to Vince Lee, double drawn. And now with 3 on the clock, Vince Lee has to make a move, flips it up, can't get the roll, barely tipping the iron.
Those are tough shots for Vincent Lee against a guy that's every bit as big as he is in Bernardo da Silva from Brazil. But it's most important what Vincent Lee and company do on the defensive end against Da Silva. Coach Taylor said, hey, we got to watch out for Da Silva inside. We got to really rally down and make things uncomfortable, but not like that.
And right on cue, Da Silva lays it in, and Hawaii gets a quick 4-2 lead. Da Silva's averaging 10.5 points per game. He's 5th in the conference, though, in rebounding, up at 6.8. He's also 2nd in the conference in field goal percentage, shooting it at 61%. Max Jones loses the handle. It's taken away by McCoy. Rather, that's Coleman who flips it up off the glass. So a 6-0 run here for Hawaii.
A little bit of careless big to guard handoff there for Mikey Square to Max Jones, and a good jump on it by Coleman, and he takes it the distance.
Titans got the first basket. They've been scoreless for 2 minutes and 20+ seconds. As we hit the 16-minute mark, here's JMS, flips it to Vincent Lee. A duo of Rainbow Warriors go flying as Lee lays it in.
Good to get Vincent Lee involved. That's his first bucket, but he's had the opportunity to shoot 3 times down there, and that was off a little bit of ball movement, and then get an extra pass down across the paint.
Shane Victorino would have been proud of Vincent Lee for getting those Hawaiians flying.
There you go.
Step inside the arc, and it's down for Juan Munoz, shooting it at 44%. His guard play has been pivotal for Hawaii to really get back on track. They're actually averaging 70.7 points per game, top half of the conference. They're limiting their opposition to 67%, or rather 67 points per game, which is 3rd best defense in the conference. Bruton steps into a triple. Just a 28% three-point shooter, maybe a bit early in the shot clock for that decision. Munoz penetrates and swings. Coleman, step back, great closeout by TSA, forcing the give up. Da Silva back to the basket. Lee with the closeout. Da Silva spins. I think Lee got a hand on it, but also may have made some contact. And that takes us to our first media timeout, Mike. It's been a rough start for the Titans. They trail 8-4, and it'll be free throws for Bernardo da Silva when we return here on a Thursday night inside historic Titan Gymnasium.
Will be our featured athlete on that show. Men's golf, Tegan Andrews.
Yeah, Tegan, a very impressive golfer. I mean, we've seen amateurs now winning big-time PGA championships or PGA events, if you will. And Tegan hoping to add his name to that list. Out of the timeout, Bernardo da Silva, the senior from Brazil, will be at the line where he's a 50% free throw shooter. Really elevating his game this season. He only averaged about 9.5 points per game a season ago. He had 3 double-doubles this year, though, up over 10.5 points per game. He's had 11 or more points 12 times, Mike, and also pretty good defensively, averaging a hair over a block and a half per game.
Probably going to take more than one guy to get it done against him defensively. The Titans will try to create a little bit of chaos around him.
9-2 run for the Rainbow Warriors. Titans struggling. Zach Vicentin is in, the transfer from Idaho State, who has really made the most of his minutes in this rotation, and he gets wrapped up, maintains possession, can't hit the floater, and Hawaii will come the other way with it.
That's not a bad way to go after Da Silva at the other end, put the biggest body the Titans have at 280 pounds, and see if you can get a foul or 2 on him.
Kabamba's in also for the Titans. He's been really good off the bench as Da Silva tests Vicentin's length, but can't get it to fall. 8 rebounds per game over the last 5 for Burrell Kabamba. He also had a double-double against Cal Poly. Skip pass to him, and the feed down low gets punched away by Da Silva. But what a great job this Hawaii coaching staff has done. They actually started off with 6 straight wins. Their first loss was to a very good Utah team, and then opening up conference a bit shaky before getting back on track against Cal Poly and looking for their 4th win here in the Big West. Here's Tom Beattie, the freshman from New Zealand. Skip pass, left wing, Coleman tries a triple and laces it through. 34% three-point shooter, and boy, Hawaii is feeling it right now. 12-2 run for the Rainbow Warriors.
You never like to see a team come out this kind of firing in your gym. You got to slow it down a little bit. That means you got to take good shots. A little bit of a forced shot there for Fullerton. It comes out the front side of the rim, and that leads to early offense for the other side.
TSA to Jones. Max Jones looking to answer and misses everything but the end of the backboard. I'm surprised no Grayson Carper has been inserted into the action. He has been the offensive force to help this team when they go through these long droughts. There he is at the scorer's table. Munoz looking for space, gets all of it and flips it up on the reverse. Boy, nobody there to contest him inside the paint, and it's a 10-point lead for Hawaii.
The three-point shooter Munoz has stepped in for a mid-range two and has gone all the way for a layup. Not great.
Munoz got his first start 3 games ago against UC San Diego, had his best game of the season as Kabamba can't hit the three. A 21-point game on 5 threes made at Lion Tree Arena in his first ever collegiate start. Very impressive from the freshman. TSA with the matchup, 15 on the clock for Munoz. And Vicentin caught him with the body.
That's pretty substantial screen set by Da Silva on TSA, and so that leaves Vicentin out there pretty much all by himself, and Munoz knew exactly what to do.
And I said first collegiate start, I meant first start with Hawaii. Of course, he started quite a few games at Longwood where he was a second-team All-Big Souther back in the 2021 campaign. So Vicentin takes a seat. Kendrick DeLuna, who had his best game as a Titan last time out against Bakersfield, is in. So is Grayson Carper. So some size down low and some shooting on the perimeter. Also in is Harry Ruhalidef for Hawaii, and the floater is short from McCoy. Titans with only one true big man out there right now. A bit of a smaller lineup. No Max Jones as well. Kabamba penetrating. And a reset to Bruton with 15 on the clock. DJ Bruton, a lightning quick move to the cup, a little too hard off the glass.
There goes that left hand off the glass. You expect him to make it. Hit a little hard though.
Coleman thought about it. Quick closeout by Kabamba. A trio of Titans converge. Ball into the corner. Beatty inside. And he can't get the follow. Second effort though is good. Persistence pays for the freshman from New Zealand. He's on the board. And it is a 8-0 run for Hawaii. Titans haven't scored in over 4 minutes.
Ron Gannat spent some time with St. Mary's, so they have that little. He's got that little pipeline to the Kiwis as well.
Kabamba can't hit. Contested floater. Coleman pushing the pace. This is where Hawaii likes to play, and some friendly fire forces the turnover. DJ Bruton to the cup. And finally, mercifully, the scoring drought of 4 minutes and 33 seconds comes to an end.
It took defense to offense. That's what it's going to take. DT said that today in our phone call. He said, hey, if we're going to be something this season, it's got to be defense to offense first and really to help out the overall offense. First
Hawaii turnover, and it was a bit of friendly fire. Here's Beatty losing it off the knee, gets it back, blocked by Carper. Grayson Carper leads the team in blocks, and we hit a timeout. 11 minutes to go in the first half. It'll be Hawaii basketball. When we return, they lead by 10. You're watching all of the action here on ESPN+. But Diamond Sports season is upon us. Scan that QR code or head to TitanAthletics.com to get your season or single game tickets right now for baseball. Mike, baseball season is going to be packed this year. You're not going to want to miss any of the action.
Starts with Fresno State, second weekend of the season. That's coming up in just 3 weeks from this weekend.
You ready?
You know what that threw me off today? We had 2 inches of rain in Orange County today. So it's going to take a little sunshine for me to get fully ready.
Fully ready. Javon McClanahan is in here, the senior from Vallejo for Hawaii. He's the gunner, 9 on the clock. Inbound to the southpaw, Jacobs, who splashes a 3. The freshman from Yokohama, Japan, just hitting his 8th 3 of the season, and it was a big one, giving Hawaii their largest lead here of 13.
He hit one last week against Cal Poly on Saturday, and they really didn't shoot it well as a team, but they're coming out firing and splashing them down here.
Yeah, and with the injury to Morsek, is TSA able to hit the 8-footer? He's on the board. With the injury to Morsek, we've seen Akira Jacobs' numbers increase, or minutes per game increase for Hawaii every single game over the last 5 games, and he has really made an impact in the moments he's been out there. A young lineup here for Coach Gannat with 2 freshmen. Beatty tried to feed it down low. The sophomore had it stripped away by DJ Bruton. Bruton on the move, and a transition foul by the senior Coleman. That is the first Hawaii foul They also are significantly dominating on the glass, Mike. 11-5 rebounding advantage for the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, that goes along with the shooting percentages. Titans 31%, Hawaii up over 53%.
They've also made 2 threes. Titans have 0. DJ looking to change that. 0 for 2 from beyond the arc for the Alcorn State transfer. And sauntering up the court is McClanahan, averaging 10 points per game. He's actually 10th in the conference in assists per game. He started 19 games. He came off the bench here tonight in his 22nd appearance. Coleman searching. McClanahan now on the wing, picked up by TSA. McClanahan was a second-team guard in the Big West. Over TSA, can't hit. Carper with the board. Titans with the stop. Searching for some offense. Bruton on the shoulder. Nice feed to DeLuna. Can't get it through contact. But the freshman from Texas will head to the line for 2, where he hasn't been very often this season.
Nice little drop off there by DJ Bruton, initiating that offense for the Titans. And you get inside, you get penetration, you get a foul on a big. It's not a bad thing.
And you could see the confidence for KDL has increased. He used to just forego any sort of shot-making opportunities. I think that the communication from the coaching staff to KDL was, when you're in, we expect you to be part of this offense. And he really showed it with 6 big points last game against Bakersfield. And here, at least getting to the line, missing the front end.
I like that move to go. You know, he could have settled, he could have brought it back out, but he saw a little angle there and forced the issue and ends up at the foul line.
De Silva will check back in here. Also into the game is Munoz. Coleman will take a seat. KDL, the highest recruited player ever in Cal State Fullerton basketball history, a 3-star from Texas, was prepped under the great Bruce Bowen.
The great Titan legend, Bruce
Correct.
Bowen.
I think that I was hoping the implication was apparent, but that's
for the bow side.
Good correction of 100%. Munoz for 3. Oh, a rainbow triple for Juan Munoz.
Yeah, I said it was a bad sign when he splashed in a mid to long range 2 and then got inside. So he's seen the ball go through the hoop a couple of times now, and he steps out and he's very comfortable shooting it.
In his last 4 games, he's averaging over 14 points. Well, better than his 10 points per game that shows on the stat sheet. DJ Bruton going at McClanahan. Back to the basket on the block. Here's Carper looking to answer. Missed everything. A rare one for Grayson Carper, and then TSA got absolutely body checked going for the board right in front of the official, but no call.
Sometimes you get that and sometimes you don't.
I think that there's a case to be made on both sides. By the way, it is packed here inside historic Titan Gymnasium. The students have shown out here on Titan Night. We have the auxiliary seating that is packed on the far side. It is a good energy inside historic Titan Gymnasium. We're just waiting for that to translate to the court.
Got to give them a little energy. Got to get fans maybe have to get into it, or teams got to get the fans into it.
It's a mutual relationship.
Sure is.
Symbiotic. Titans shooting 26%. They've been scoreless for another 2+ minutes. Here's Ryan Rapta Jr. in a transfer from Washington State. Munoz now in possession, a little give and go with Akira Jacobs. 8 for McClanahan. Rap to the corner, a 3 for Munoz. Off the back iron, the freshman Rap is there and he gets hacked by Torrey San Antonio, who is trying to fire up his teammates. He and Kabamba sharing some words.
Yeah, second time the Titans have been beaten for an offensive board there. It's going to lead to points. Good closeout there by Bruton. You know, he makes Munoz uncomfortable, but then the Titans don't put a body on Rap. Local kid, locally born, Glendora, but grew up in Australia, where his mother was born and his father played professionally. Father, great player down at UC San Diego in their D3 days.
Boy, has that program risen the ranks quickly, and his father was a part of their success at D3 and helped build the foundation for what is now a team that is contending for the top spot in the Big West Conference. 24-8, Hawaii leads Titans on the back end of an 18-4 run. Here's Carper alone in the corner, lobs one up, and it's off the top of the backboard. Boy, Titans just can't get anything going. We haven't seen Max Jones for 5 minutes.
0 for 6, Titans outside the 3-point arc.
And they've won for their last 4 from the field, a tie-up and a timeout for Juan Munoz. It's a 30, so we'll keep it here. Boy, Mike, what do you think the key to injecting some life into this team is?
Get some defense. That kind of was a good trap there in the corner. hoping to force the ball loose. And, it almost doesn't matter if it just comes off loose off the rebound. Just take it and go. But there's just not enough of those stops for the Titans right now with Hawaii shooting 50%.
It's been stretched to immediate timeout. 7:45 to go here in the first half. Titans trailing 24-8. Can they rally back? We'll find out together on ESPN+. Fans packed in here, historic Titan Gymnasium. Students primarily making their presence felt. A ton of students here, but they're trying to witness a big comeback here in the first half of the Titans trailing 24-8, 7:40 to go. Out of the timeout, Rapp has it. Mats up with Max Jones. Contested layup, no good. De Silva can't get the follow. TSA secures the board. And Donovan O'Day is in for his first minutes here. Max Jones back in with Carper, TSA, and John Mikey Square. Jones curling off the screen, picked up by the freshman Jacobs. Going at the freshman Jacobs, and the freshman Jacobs gets the better of him.
Max Jones trying to force something, get something done inside. That score makes me think of Kobe Bryant. I'm not sure what it is about those two particular numbers.
Must be subliminal. Titans being out-rebounded 18-7. Hawaii shooting 45%. And how about the athletic finish from Jovan McClanahan? Wow, a blow by and an acrobatic layup to boot.
Yeah, they have one guard on one end, forces the shot up, doesn't get a friendly bounce. The other guy forces up a similarly tough shot and gets it to go in almost all net.
There's a little pick and roll. JMS then gets wrapped up. I think that he had the clear layup if he decided to go straight up. Instead, he gets tied up with Bernardo De Silva, and JMS is headed to the charity stripe.
That's a foul you got to take if you're De Silva. You have no fouls. Yeah, you got to go straight up.
I don't know if the dribble was necessary. I think he could have just gone straight up. But trying to get De Silva into foul trouble, maybe a little psychological battle going on here.
Right, you get one on him, maybe you can get two before the end of the half.
Right, JMS is playing chess while we're playing checkers.
Thinking next level.
Justin McCoy is going to check in here. Akira Jacobs, who had some very quality minutes, going to take a seat. John Mikey Square, the Fairleigh Dickinson transfer. His father was a great basketball player in the Houston area. He actually told me that he would ball up TJ Ford and Emeka Okafor, but chose to play football at Miami instead of basketball in college. His son, though, choosing a different path. And boy, are the Titans lucky to have him, the hustle stat guy, down low for Cal State Fullerton. Munoz in the corner. There's a favorable matchup down low with TSA, but the switch ended up working out for the Titans. Skip past Munoz for three, contested too hard, long rebound to Rapp. Clanahan thought about it. Quick closeout by Carper, into the corner for McCoy. That's short, and O'Day soaring, but taken away by a Rapp. And second chance points continuing to pile on here, now 9 for Hawaii.
First board there in that possession. Titans got bodies on the guys, but long rebound came out, and they didn't get it done on the second.
And a frustrated Max Jones. I almost said Mac Jones. I did say Mac Jones.
Are you a Patriots fan?
I'm not. I said a frustrated Mac Jones or Max Jones, which I feel like goes both ways.
Very true.
So MJ is headed to the line for a pair where he is looking to get on the board. Seeing his numbers dip, he actually only has a combined 15 points the last two games after a 22-point outburst in the win at UC Santa Barbara. And they're going to need his offense not only tonight, but the schedule gets a little tough here, Mike. You're headed out to Davis, out to Bakersfield, which is never an easy win, up in their floor, and then Riverside at home. Max Jones splits the pair, 28-11 the score.
Titans are having a tough time getting the ball go through the basket. 23% from the field, 0 for 6 from downtown, 3 for 6 now at the foul line.
McClanahan. O'Day, the McNeese State transfer on him. Gets it back from McCoy. Back out to McCoy. Carper bites on the fake. McCoy steps in, can't hit. JMS tears down the board. They need more of that from John Mikey Square here tonight.
Coach Taylor said John Mikey Square is a guy that just, it may not show up in the stat sheet, but what he does contributes to wins.
TSA turns it over. Munoz in a one-on-one. skipped it to Rapp along the baseline, draws the double, far side, McCoy up top, Munoz, O'Day forcing the reset with some defense. Here's that switch that Hawaii's looking for. Great pickup by Carper, though. Into the corner to Rapp with 12. Now Munoz had some space and cans it.
Look at this team shoot. You'd never know it. They were 4 for 21 on their home floor last Saturday night, or 5 for 23 on their home floor against the Titans a month ago.
Munoz was the number 6th ranked point guard in North Carolina in his prep days. Max Jones draws some contact. And what a story for Munoz, too, by the way. He actually missed all of 2021 and 2022 with an injury. And he is showing just how much this team missed him.
Maybe he can get a 9th year of eligibility like that one guy, that football player.
What's his name? He went to my school, too, for a while, for 7 of those years.
7 years.
7 years at Oregon, 2 years at Miami. Max Jones hits the first. Titans trail by 19.
It was the COVID era. But, you know, he was actually in school long before COVID, the football player we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're going back to 16.
2 injury. Yeah, he started school the year after I started school. He's still in college. And I graduated 4 years ago.
Contributing to society now, Jonathan.
Not everybody believes that.
And to these broadcasts.
I appreciate it. Jones able to go 2 for 2 after going 1 for 2 on his previous trip. And now it's just about defense turning into offense, like you mentioned, Coach Dedrick Taylor preached in your conversation. Ball fired to the corner. Coleman back into the game. On the high post, De Silva up against JMS, can't hit, and JMS standing tall with the board.
It's a great stop by JMS.
Bruton to O'Day. He's going to try a 3. Can't get it. Ball punched up, and a foul. I think a wraparound on De Silva. That is his second foul.
And that's Mikey Square contributing again.
So we'll take a break. Titans trail 31-13. O'Day couldn't hit it. John Mikey Square able to enforce some contact to keep it with the Titans. Back in a moment from historic Titan Gymnasium on ESPN+. The Rainbow Warriors getting the better of the Titans here in the first half so far. Still 4 minutes to go for some things to change here, Mike, but only a couple of opportunities left for you to purchase your season and single game tickets for baseball. So make sure you match that QR code.
It's important. We're showing it again because it's important.
Vincent Lee back into the game for John Mikey Square, who was playing incredibly well in those minutes he had. Max Jones turns, shoots short. Munoz has a game-high 10 points.
He's almost matching the Titans.
Vince Lee with some stifling defense. Munoz blows by O'Day. Skip pass into the corner. Beatty to the deck. And I think he walked.
Oh, they're going to call a foul into the... They fouled him into the walk, I guess.
So perhaps the elevation that Carper had may have forced some extra movement. Yeah, you're right. He pushed into him.
But he did walk. You were right about that.
We're all walking. Corner triple is an air ball. O'Day lost it. It hits the line, and it stays with Hawai'i. And these are those little things, Mike, that make it very difficult, the momentum killers, or even the things that stifle any opportunity to garner momentum.
It's a bad luck first half. You got to try to find a way to reach 20 in this half. Make sure they don't get past 35. Close it down just a little bit.
Coleman had it tipped away from by DJ Bruton. Bruton leads the team in steals. Max Jones in the corner. Bruton in the corner. Carper all alone. Money! Boy, did the Titans need that. Grayson Carper laces it.
It was a good play by Max Jones on the opposite side because he came down. He didn't really have a good shot, and he just kept the ball moving instead of forcing one up. And here we another offense perhaps.
Momentum brewing. O'Day can't get it, but did get fouled, and Donovan O'Day will head to the free throw line. Boy, this play seemed like it was ready to erupt. There's plenty of work to be done, down by 15, but this is the feeling that you need to get back into the game.
Now look at all those guys we have up in the end zone stands, in the end zone bleachers in the East End. We got the Faitas, we got the Sigma News out there. Lots of Greek representation tonight. Greek life here at Fullerton. And, yeah, I mean, Max Jones kept the ball moving on that fast break, and then another offense. I think if you put pressure on Hawaii, there's a chance that they'll get into moments and stretches where they'll cough up the ball a little bit.
O'Day helping extend the Titans' run 6-0. Hawaii hasn't scored in almost 2 minutes of action. They're 1 for their last 4 from the field. Donovan O'Day at McNeese State a season ago has really come on strong in his first season with Cal State. Fullerton off the bench. He provides a ton of spurt ability. He knows how to get to the cup. He knows how to get to the free throw line, and he plays some very good defense. Beatty along the baseline. He lost it. Third straight turnover for Hawaii. Bruton brings it back. And now up. Fullerton trying to put the pedal to the metal now. Down by 14. Vince Lee into the corner. O'Day tees one up and drops it in. And just like that, the deficit is cut in half.
You get Hawaii going back a little off kilter going back because they turn the ball over and again. They do it again.
4 straight Hawaii turnovers. Titans with numbers. DJ Bruton soars and lays it in. Timeout Hawaii. Cal State Fullerton is on an 11-0 run over 2.5 minutes.
Since De Silva went out with a second foul, we came back from that timeout. Well, 9 of them anyway.
The energy has changed inside historic Titan Gymnasium as we step aside. 31-22, Cal State Fullerton trails, but all the momentum on their end right now on ESPN+.
Strength, drive yours.
Titans on an 11-0 run. Hawaii hasn't scored in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. As we welcome you back inside the friendly confines of HTG. And you mentioned it, partner. As soon as De Silva went out, the Titans were able to force 4 straight turnovers en route to this 11-0 run.
Yeah, I saw Hawaii, even without pressure against Cal Poly early in the game, cough up the ball. I'm thinking, hey, if the Titans put a little bit of pressure, there's going to be some stretches here where they don't handle it well.
Hawaii third in the conference, though, in limiting their own turnovers at 12.3 per game. And the floater is good from the junior, Ryan Rapp.
Other thing you have to think about for Hawaii is they had a 26-0 run against them a couple weeks back against Santa Barbara. That's got to be lingering in their head just a little bit.
Jones to Carper. Carper looking for another. There was contact, but no whistle. Rapp will bring it back down the other way. Rapp has started all but one game here in Big West play. He didn't start here tonight, but continuing to make the most of the minutes he gets on the court as he draws some contacts.
Even though that's Carper's second foul, it's not free throw time here in the half.
Carper is going to check out, though, for Torrey San Antonio. Titans have one more foul to give here through the final 74 seconds.
Yeah, see, he'll definitely take a foul right there. You know, even though it's your second, it's towards the end of the half.
By the way, stick around for halftime. Adam Rink from the NFL Network and a Fullerton alum is going to join us for what's going to be a very fun conversation, and there's a very fun Titan forced turnover as an illegal screen will give it back here to Cal State Fullerton.
Was that 5 out of the last 6 possessions or something?
5 out of your math is always better than mine, Mike.
So we'll go with 5 out of 6.
I have no reason to doubt you. Hawaii now with 7 turnovers. Fullerton, who started with 3 turnovers in the first minute, has 4. Under a minute to go and a big possession here. Zone defense.
And this is the starting group for Fullerton that finishes the half now.
Oh, Jones had a look, but this is smart ball movement. TSA thought about it. Bruton in the middle, corner O'Day. He already hit one earlier from that spot. Can't get this one. TSA tips it, nobody in the area, and Hawaii gets it back. About 9 seconds will separate the shot clock and the game clock.
Going back to when it was 31... Was it 31-11 or 31-13?
31-13.
I was thinking, hey, just get to 20. And they got to 20, and they have a chance to hold Hawaii down pretty far down here at the end of the half.
Fullerton shooting 29%, Hawaii shooting 44%, but those turnovers piling up for the Rainbow Warriors. Titans also 6 for 10 from the line, down low, and one, Justin McCoy. Vincent Lee got his hand caught in the cookie jar. And the grad transfer from the University of North Carolina will head to the line for a pair, or rather for an and one.
That's one of the guys for Hawaii that Coach DT worries about, a guy that may be a little off the radar. Got matched up with somebody on the smaller side of O'Day and just kind of out-muscled him.
Talk about a journeyman. Started off his career at Virginia. Played a couple of seasons out there and then went to UNC and now...
Would he have gotten a ring? Or was he there after? Where they won in 19?
He was... That's a great question. Isn't part of the extensive research I did on his college career. I think he was there right after. I think he was right after the Kyle Guy Diakite team.
Yeah, we're 5 years
We're
after.
5 years, yeah, and he was there 4 years ago. I'm sure we'll get a tweet telling us we're wrong. 8 seconds for Bruton. Had Vince Lee down low. Elects to keep it himself. Right shoulder jumper for Bruton is good. And a quick timeout for Dedrick Taylor. He wants his team to reset defensively.
He always knows about those use it or lose it timeouts, and this is the latest I've seen him take one of those use it or lose it timeouts, the ones you can't carry to the second half.
And if you're Cal State Fullerton, look, you started off slow. You started off rough. But I do think that there is a huge success factor that you can take away with over the last 7 or 8 minutes of this first half.
Yeah, the last 4 minutes, big time. Big time to carry over to the second half. And you cut into the deficit quite a bit, still down 12. But you're feeling much better that, hey, if we push the pedal down on these guys a little bit, there's a chance that we could gain some momentum, maybe make them start thinking about that big run that they had against them against Santa Barbara, where they went 10 minutes without scoring. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll see how much the Titans can do here with this press. Maybe they get a bonus, but don't want to foul anybody now because they're out of fouls.
2 seconds to go in the half. McClanahan heaves it at the horn and almost got it to at least touch rim. But that's how the first half concludes. 36-24, Cal State Fullerton trails by 12. But boy, Mike, the damage could have been much worse than what shows up on the scoreboard right now.
Sure was. Looked like Hawaii was going to get out to 40, put up 40 in the half. The Titans were stuck in the low teens until the last couple minutes of the half. They made great adjustments and just a little bit more commitment on both ends of the floor and some more shot making. I mean, that goes a long way.
Halftime here inside historic Titan Gymnasium. Don't go anywhere. Adam Ring from the NFL Network, a notable alum here for Cal State Fullerton, is going to join me. We're going to have a great conversation. On the other side, you're watching Titans men's basketball on ESPN+. Welcome in one of the greats here at Cal State Fullerton, Adam Rank, also working for the NFL Network. Yep. Adam, you look at these halftime stats, and how would you evaluate the Titans' first half?
Enough about that. Let's talk about me. I want to know, here's my thing. Okay, yeah, you know what? First of all, we allowed that lead to get way too large in the first half, but we did see signs of life at the end of the first half here. One of the things that I really love about this gym, and you talk about historic Titan gym, it's historic because it's the only place on this campus that hasn't been upgraded. There's been a Carl's Jr. built more recently than this gym. But the thing is when the fans are here and they're getting going and they're into it, you saw it made a huge, like you could feel the momentum in this. And so I think that we need to be better knocking down the threes. A little bit better there. Some tough breaks, unfortunately, on the back end here, especially towards the end of the first half, where they were throwing up some bricks. Hawaii started coming back down to earth, throwing up some bricks. Some bad, a couple of bad breaks for us, but I think that we've got them right where we want them. We're looking strong, and we're a second half team. Everybody knows this.
This is true. Now, we just had the best halftime analysis we've ever had here.
Stop it.
So I'm going to tender my resignation right now, and
Please
you could do play-by-play for the rest.
Well, I don't know why. Like listen. Is my time not valuable? I would have sat in for the whole first half, but I'm the halftime guy.
Well, Mike Martinez was the one who
Mike's
challenged that a
good.
little
Listen,
bit.
when Mike does the baseball call, he's amazing.
Mike
I think that he's kept me entertained for many a night. But
so speaking of baseball,
yes.
a source told me that you were once upon a time a baseball player here, and then
no.
Let me. You attempted to, but
yes,
but you were implored to maybe hang up the cleats and head to the press box. What's the story with that?
They're like, get out of here. Like they're just like, you don't look good in your uniform. And that was the one thing is like, you can play baseball in high school and you can be pretty good. And you're like, I'll go to Cal State Fullerton. We'll see what happens. And it's a different world. You go in there and like as a mortal human being, you miss a ball, like you foul tip one or whatever. I was here in an era when Phil Nevin was here, when Mark Kotze was here. Like
nice.
I'm like Mark Kotze. We're the same height. We're both left-handed. He's just exceptional at baseball. Like, you would watch those guys in the batting cage, and they don't miss ever. Like, never miss. Like, their misses are like, oh, I sort of like hit the wall instead of like hitting it out. So it's an incredible thing. And like, I run well enough. I hit well enough, hit for power, but like, it doesn't translate. And I think that anybody who fancies themselves a baseball, like, I could have played. Nope, you couldn't have.
Not here.
Anybody who's like, oh well, if I had an injury. No. Tony Fetchel, who played here, had Tommy John surgery and never got cut and was fine. So don't ever listen to anybody who's in the, well, I blew out my eighth. No, you didn't. You were not good enough. Well, and it goes all the way. And by the way, it also goes down. And if you think that I could have played D3. Nope, couldn't have played D3. These are special athletes. And I don't think that a lot of people understand how great these guys are. And it's disrespectful.
You have done an amazing job in validating how I feel about my baseball potential if I didn't tear my labrum. So thank you for that.
You wouldn't have made it. No. They would have stuck with you. I don't mean to be rude.
I'm also kidding. I had no future in baseball.
But it is one of those things. Like, a lot of guys, it's tough to let go. But when you go out there and you're like,
yeah,
I'm not this good.
My next question's a doozy. Caleb Williams.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's exceptional talent.
Would you like him on your football team?
You know what? I'm going to root for whoever is the quarterback of the Chicago Bears starting next season. I understand the philosophy with both approaches. If you want to go with Justin Fields, because if you trade that pick, the way that Caleb Williams is being valued right now, it's much higher than what Bryce Young went for last year. So you would have to figure the Bears would get 3 first-round picks, maybe a player like Kyle Pitts or somebody like that in return for the opportunity to draft Caleb Williams. So that's a lot to give up. You have to be really sure. Like, as much as you love to reset the quarterback clock, and you hear a lot of people in the game say that, but you have to be really sure, because that guy will give you 3 first-round picks, and you could probably end up still getting somebody like Marvin Harrison Jr., John Alt, somebody really good who's going to come help your team.
How obvious is it that Daniel Jeremiah's son picks all of his picks for each game?
Oh, 100%. Do you think that Daniel Jeremiah would take the time to condescend to do that? No, not at all.
He told us, he said, sometimes I'll just send my picks to my son at Baylor, and he and his friends will come up with them, which is why you always beat him in these picks.
Well, I also, because I'm close with the producer, I will ask, like, when I like to fade the public. So whenever they put all those picks together, he will tell me, like, hey, this is where everybody's unanimous on these picks. And everybody thinks I automatically choose those. I don't. I am very, if I'm like, because sometimes I'll be leaning one way. I'm like, I kind of want to pick, I want to pick the Texans here, but I'm not sure. And they're like, well, nobody's picking the Texans. I'm like, okay, well, then I'll take
Which
them.
You did, by the way, and you and MJD were the only two that did, but you were closer to the point spread.
Of course I was. That was me. And so, so I love doing the fade the time. And again, like, we had an opportunity because everybody was on Buffalo, and they're like, hey, do you want to take the Steelers? And I'm like, nope, I am not going to be taking Mason Rudolph. I'm going to pass on that one.
Got to continue to show love for Southern California's own Josh Allen.
Yes, that's true. Who, me? Did somebody tell me to stand still?
We do have a producer. Do you not have a producer in your ear when you're on NFL Network?
The producers in my ear have given up a long time ago. No, this is called crack energy.
Can you?
Like, I'm just kind of kinetic. I'm constantly. I'll do the hype train the whole time now.
I always thought I was the only one with ADHD on these broadcasts, but here comes Adam Rank trying to challenge me here.
I'm so sorry, producer, back in my ear. No disrespect. No disrespect.
Alexa, you're doing a great job.
Alexa,
don't let Adam.
No, you're doing great. Don't listen to me. I am the most unprofessional professional that you'll ever. It's back in the day. There was this baseball player named Hal Morris, who everything that you were taught as a kid, as a baseball player, like, hey, like when you're sitting there, like, don't move your back foot. That guy would have his back foot moving and he still hit 320. That's kind of the way that I go. Everything that every broadcasting teacher here at Cal State Fullerton, from Ron Fellows down to Mr. Overbeck, everything that they taught me, I did the opposite, and yet somehow I prevailed.
And yet here you are.
Somehow I prevailed.
Now, how long did it take for you to prevail?
Oh, many, many years. It was a long grind to the middle. and I got there.
Well, listen, Adam, champions find a way no matter what, so you're on the right track.
Someday I long to be considered a champion.
In the eyes of many, you are. So if you're big on fading the public, how do you feel about the Super Bowl?
You know what? That's one where I'm kind of going with the Chiefs.
You can't pick against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, right?
That is the thing that a couple of weeks ago I started getting in on the Chiefs, and I was really impressed with them. And I went into last week's game against the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens had finally cleared a hurdle. Mm-hmm. They won a playoff game that they were supposed to win, which had been something that had been a problem for them. And then at the same time, I'm like, nah, I still like the Chiefs. And I thought that once Travis Kelce was going after Justin Tucker, I'm like, oh, it's over. You don't want, now it's over. Now the kicker's getting involved.
Yep.
Why is the kicker approaching Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes? You need to know your role. You know what I'm saying? The Rock is out there. The mid-card guy doesn't go after the Rock.
So if the 49ers lose, they can blame Justin Tucker?
I would think so.
Okay, I think that's fair.
That awoke a spirit in them.
He's Adam Rink on air for the NFL Network, also a fantasy football expert. I don't even know if I need to ask you, but I did draft Justin Herbert in my dynasty back when he just came out of Oregon.
Oh, same here, yeah.
And it has been the greatest. Now last year with Brandon, it was a whole mess, but he's still top 8 quarterback in the league.
Now he's got Jim Harbaugh.
Right,
so I think it's going to be a lot.
I'm feeling pretty good.
I love the acquisition of Jim Harbaugh. You think about what he did in San Francisco when he went there and what he did for Alex Smith's career.
Yep.
I think Justin Herbert is going to take a leap forward. He needs somebody like that leading him.
We're up against a break. Do you want to try your hand at some color?
May I?
All right.
Mike, can I do it? Mike, can I do color?
Mike,
he's not even paying attention.
He's ignoring you, which means yes.
If I can do color, continue to ignore me. We're in.
All
Perfect.
right. He's Adam Rink. He's going to stick around for some color. His
is
first
that
ever
Vinovich
opportunity.
Down there?
That is.
Oh, Bill Vinovich. It's hard now because we usually see him with the ball cap on.
Get your binoculars out. All right, stick with us. Second half coming up next on ESPN+.
Oh, we're staying here.
Just kidding.
No. Well, because Vinovich is now, he's out there. He was doing games in the Big West back when I was in school here. It's been a long time. And then when I worked for the Orange County Register, he was doing them. He would do all the GSAC games back when Concordia and Biola and Azusa Pacific and all those great schools.
Now those are Pac West games now.
Now they're Pac West.
Now they're Pac West. Dominant forces. Biola, very good basketball team. All right, into the second half we go. Both teams sporting their starters. Hawaii with a 12-point lead. They've led by as many as 19. The Titans have done an incredible job coming back into this game. There was a stretch of possessions here, Adam, where the Titans were able to force 4 turnovers in 5 possessions for Hawaii that allowed this run to come.
Yeah, that's one of the things that CDT has tried to stress to this ball club is the defensive pressure. Everybody loves to play up tempo. There's that.
Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, Beatty couldn't hit the 3 and got it back.
Yeah, that's one of the areas that they need to clean up a little bit. Is they've done a nice job defending some of the threes. I know that Hawaii's come back down to earth a little bit from 3-point range, but it's always more difficult to rebound on a missed 3, but the team needs to clean that up just a bit.
That was Noel Coleman soaring to the cup for 2. Max Jones can't get the answer. Rebound ripped down by Bernardo da Silva. You talk about how the Titans need to clean up some rebounding. 8 offensive rebounds for Hawaii, just 1 for the Titans. Turnover punched away for a moment, or the ball, it's not a turnover, as Coleman will reset here in the corner.
Yeah, that's the difference in this league. It's those 50-50 balls. And I like the effort. It's not like the team is not trying. The effort's there, but, those breaks got to come.
And da Silva all alone. Max Jones elected not even to try, and Hawaii takes a 16-point lead.
Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. You were beaten on that play, so just hold your ground and then go back and play defense another time. DJ
Bruton up top, picked up by Beatty. Bruton leads the Titans with 8 on 4 of 8 from the field. And here's that Princeton offense that Coach Cedric Taylor loves to run to try and free up the shooters. Bruton turns the corner from the Vince Lee screen. Right wing Jones. Jones to the cup. Back to the basket, turns, flips, and gets it to fall.
This is the better basket. I'm convinced that our home basket is the better basket, which is why we tend to fall behind in the first half, because that's the better rim. Believe me, nobody wants to talk about this, but I'm exposing it here.
Da Silva all alone with the flush. Titans falling asleep defensively.
A little bit, yeah. Hawaii's done a really nice job of taking advantage of that early here in the second half. And again, that is something It's not a lack of effort, but there is an attention to detail that's just missing right now.
Bruton to the cup and hits and one. Momentum builder for DJ Bruton. He saw one flush and he said, not only will I put this through, but I'm going to head to the line as well.
Establish your will, get the ball to the rim. It'll open up the outside shot for them. So, yeah, you love to see him. That was a great take.
DJ Bruton, a huge pickup for Coach Dedrick Taylor, digging deep. He was a first-team All-SWAC player at Alcorn State a season ago. Leads the team now in scoring, and a lot of people were saying, Adam, what's this team going to look like offensively without Latrell Wrightsell, who went to Alabama, and DJ Bruton has sort of answered some of those questions.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. When you have players in transition and players coming in, it's going to take a little bit of time, and that's the one thing that Fullerton fans need to realize is that, you know what, we're probably not going to get in that large bid. And so you really just want to get the combinations correct going into the Big West tournament, which is something that CDT has done.
And there was a good combination right there. TSA to JMS for 2, and it was just a 16-point deficit. It's cut down to 12. Titans are 4 for their last 5 from the field.
Yeah, and TSA, when I was in school here in the 90s, he was a freshman, and he was,
Yeah, big 3 on the right wing from Coleman trying to stifle that run.
A little bit. All right, again, the defense on the three-point line has been a little bit not great tonight, but that's okay. That's okay. No damage.
Hawaii, a 32% three-point shooter. That's 6th in the conference. TSA lost it off his right foot. TSA is the longest tenured Titan, which is what you were alluding to.
Yes, he's been here for a while.
Out of Rancho Verde High School, Vincent Lee, the other long-tenured Titan. John Mikey Square lost it. There's Vincent Lee to clean it up on the block. That ball punched away by De Silva. 50-50 ball. Does not matter. Shot clock violation. The Titans committing turnover at number 6.
Yeah, that's the kind of things that need to be cleaned up here, especially when you start to make a run once again. We saw that at the end of the first half where everything was going the Titans' way. The momentum was on their side. And again, it just comes down to those little 50-50 plays that just quite aren't going their way.
16-20 and counting here, second half. Titans trailing by 15. Hawaii has led for all but the first basket when Fullerton went up 2-0 about 2 minutes into the action. Munoz has a game-high 12. Left wing to McCoy, down low to Silva, shedding Max Jones and getting hammered by Vincent Lee.
Too many opportunities down low for Hawaii right now. We've seen that time and time again over the last 4 minutes, is that Hawaii's kind of had their way, getting the ball down low. Yeah, got to deny those passes.
You ever been to Brazil?
I have not.
Well, that is where this fine gentleman, Bernardo de Silva's from, and he has really shown not only that he could play here at Hawaii, but he actually played on the U18 and U19 Brazil national team, which is very impressive anytime you get to represent your country.
Yeah, solid player. Hawaii does a nice job casting a wide net of bringing in talent.
And that is the Coach Ganot way. He went to St. Mary's where he was an assistant coach for a while, actually was an interim coach for 5 games, and we know what St. Mary's does recruiting from the Southern Hemisphere.
Well, they did a great job with with Australia. Bringing in a lot of players, and Randy Bennett, when he was the coach there, brought in a lot of players from down under.
Munoz is going to take a seat. McClanahan's going to check in. Trying to make it a 17-point lead for Bernardo de Silva. And does. Stroking both free throws. Just a 50% free throw shooter. He has 9. TSA will let this one roll. McClanahan picks him up at the midcourt line. And they need some offense here from somebody that isn't DJ Bruton or Max Jones. KDL is into the game. He's the protege of the great Bruce Bowen. Max Jones turning, spinning, flipping it to KDL into the corner. Bruton thought about it. To the deck he goes, and he gets stripped by the freshman Beatty. Hawaii's on the move.
The indecisiveness there led to that. Hey, man, just let it rip. When you got the ball in your hands and you're a shooter, you shoot.
McClanahan calling the shots here. Max Jones in his grill. Good close out to force the give up. McCoy now head to the basket, gets stripped by TSA. That looked like it was off his knee.
Oh.
But they're going to keep it with Hawaii.
Interesting. Come on, Vinovich, get that correct.
15:28 to go and a timeout on the court. This is where we say so long to Adam Rank, partner.
Jonathan, thank you so much.
This was incredible. Thank you.
To the producer that I yelled at earlier, I apologize. It's just me. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back on campus. I'm excited to know, where do I rank amongst all the CSF alumnus? I think the K-Dog and Gwen Stefani 1-2 for sure.
I'm sure that Mark Stein will have something to say about that.
Oh, Stein and I are going
to... A little bit differently as Adam Rank took over for color for a second. Mike, what have you seen?
I don't know what you're talking about. I went downstairs to get some nachos.
I don't blame you.
And I look back at the score is 17. It's a 17-point difference again.
It was 42-30. Titans haven't scored in the better part of over 2 minutes. Bruton from 18. Rebound to the soaring McClanahan.
You know, it's concerning and disconcerting. The Titans probably can't get into these kinds of deficits. I'm not sure they have the offensive firepower this year that can really make up points in that kind of fashion. I'd like to be proven wrong tonight.
Coleman can't hit the three. Rebound falls to Bruton, and he is on the move. DJ Bruton looking to go coast to coast. He actually fumbled it, but also McClanahan caught the wrist, and DJ Bruton will be able to stop the clock and get to the line. I think that might be the key here, Mike. If you can get a couple of possessions where you're stringing together points and then getting to the line where you're stopping the clock, that's probably the key here to getting back into this game.
You got to get some of those in a big comeback as well. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Bakersfield has a slight lead on Long Beach State at the half.
Really?
San Diego, 20-point lead on CSUN early second half.
That is an inspired Triton squad.
And Cal Poly hanging in there with UC Irvine, 3-point anteater lead at Cal Poly early second half.
2 for 2 for DJ Bruton. 15-point deficit for Cal State Fullerton. Hawaii has 12 points from Coleman, 10 from Munoz, 9 from De Silva. De Silva also has 6 rebounds. How about this, though, Mike? Every single player that Hawaii has played has at least a rebound, and they're out-rebounding the Titans 29-12.
Yes, that's scoring that, they have a couple guys that are scoring like that, and they kind of did it in spurts and stretches to really pace the scoring and keep them at a great pace that they are right now.
Coleman with 2 on the clock, flips it. Here's a heave from the junior Rapp. It's off the back iron. A stop for the Titans. This is a big possession. You could really cut this deficit. TSA thinking about the three, pulls the trigger, and it's short. Not sure about the hesitation there.
Yeah, once you get the hesitation, you got to move the ball along probably early in the shot clock.
Rapp can't hit the floater high off the glass. TSA tips it out, stays with the Rainbow Warriors.
It's just a little disjointed tonight for the Titans. Coming off the 3 straight wins, and you get a great win at Santa Barbara, winning their back-to-back years in the Thunderdome, which doesn't always happen. You beat a great player like A.J. Mitchell and hold him down. And then, maybe there's just a chance for a letdown in Hawaii, trying to put things together. I think they might have come in here a little bit on the more up, with potential than the Titans maybe had a potential for a little bit of a letdown. I think that's what we're seeing tonight. But there's still time. That's the good thing. There's still time. You got to play 40 minutes.
McClanahan trying to find space, sort of floats one up, or Rapp is able to get it, and DJ Bruton rides the shoulders. It's going to be Ryan Rapp heading to the line, where this season he's only 1 for 2. Yeah, a bit on the pump fake right there. Hawaii heads back home. Actually, check that. They're at UC Irvine next on Saturday before heading back home and taking on UC San Diego and UC Davis. Those 2 games are going to be imperative whether or not they win tonight or win on Saturday. Rapp hitting the front end here. Couple of seasons at Washington State, 54 games for the Cougars. Had an 8-rebound, 8-assist game for against a UCLA team that ultimately made it to the Final Four that season.
Yeah, that was a big moment at Washington State.
That was the great Jaime Jaquez, Amari Bailey, Jalen Clark team. O'Day elevating and drawing some contact. Hawaii is trying to remain competitive this season. Punch your way into the conference tournament, Mike, and then obviously if you win the tournament, you're in. This is a team that hasn't been to the NCAA tournament since 2016. Coach Ganot's first season, but what a job he did in that year. They were a 13th seed, and they beat the 4-seeded Cal Bears. Remember who was on that Cal Bears team? Jaylen Brown, Ivan Rabb, Nick Kerr, Steve Kerr's son. Jabari Bird was on that team. That was an incredible Cal Bear team that this Hawaii team beat back in 2016 to move on to the round of 32.
Always very capable, and they come to the Big West tournament, and they bring the band and they bring the cheerleaders, and they put on a great show. Not even just on the court, but off the court.
Rapp has been feeling it. May have gotten away with some lengthy strides. McClanahan on the wing. Gets it back from Coleman with 10. McClanahan testing the defense of DJ Bruton. into the middle, pivots back out. Coleman with 3. Coleman with 2. Up over a pair of Titans. He gets it to fall. 14 points now for Coleman.
Was a good defensive possession, and then it broke down at the end. Of course, you get Coleman. He eyes the clock. He gets his foot on the gas, and he heads downhill. And nice shot to finish it.
Titans feeling the urgency. Kabamba lost it. Great strip by McCoy, but Kabamba tracked it down. San Antonio, another hesitation, another 3, but this one falls.
And stayed behind the line there. That's good. You know, the other one he hesitated on, he was on the 2-point line, and that one hesitated, but he's still behind the 3, so he makes a shot. So that's it's nice to get the 3.
And a foul on the turn. The fans trying to stay in it, and TSA hitting a 3 certainly helps.
It's got to go get him a second order of wings, I guess. Make sure they stay in here.
Are there even wings left? I mean, the fans really rolled their way through it.
I would have. We would have.
I saw our production team rolling their way through the wings as well. That's why they're doing such a great job.
They got that energy.
McClanahan with a contested free throw line jumper off the right arm, but O'Day may have knocked his elbow. Jovan McClanahan to the line for 2. And again, just these little things. You get a great defensive stop, but at the end of the play, again, contact to the free throw line, and all of a sudden Hawaii gets another opportunity. It's these little things that add up that make it very difficult to come back in these games.
Yeah, McClanahan, Coleman, Coach Taylor talks about those guys. Even though a lot of what they do starts with De Silva, you get those types of veteran presences at the guard position. We know coming down the stretch of the season, and when you get to March, what can your guards do? That's very important, and they're having a good night tonight. You know, I look at this Hawaii team, and I'm like, well, they seem to have a lot of pieces. At some point, if they put it together, they will be dangerous.
And doing it without their sophomore center, Morsek, the 7-1 player from Senegal, who isn't averaging a ton of points, but, I mean, when you're 7-1, your defensive presence is huge. He's also averaging over 3 rebounds per game. Kabamba to the cup. Got tied up with the legs of Keurig Jacobs, and Barella Kabamba, the transfer from Spring Hill College, is going to head to the line, but first the timeout. 11:50 to go here in the ball game. Titans trailing by 17. We'll step aside here on ESPN+. 53-36. Titans trailing. Mike Martinez, myself, Jonathan Rifkin, delighted to be with you. If you missed our conversation with Adam Rink at halftime and into the second half, it'll be made available on the Titan Athletics social media accounts and also when this game is archived on ESPN+. But Mike, right now, if you're Cal State Fullerton, time is becoming a factor.
Sure is. You got to get on a run, and hopefully it's a long run. That run at the end of the first half did not carry to the second. And so now you are starting to run out of time. You got to cut this thing in half as soon as possible, maybe by the 5-minute mark, and then see if you could just put a little extra pressure on from there.
Kabamba goes 2 for 2 from the line.
It is helping all these foul shots. Even though Hawaii's getting some, Titans are getting some too.
Titans 11 for 17 from the line. Hawaii is 10 for 11, so even though the Titans have 6 more free throws, only 1 more make. McClanahan drawing the double. Seeds it to the corner. It's tipped out off of O'Day. So the Titans with a relatively small lineup. KDL, the only big man out there down low. Bruton, O'Day, Torrey San Antonio, and Barella Kabamba. No Max Jones. We've only seen Grayson Carper for a small spurt.
Yeah, you need some scoring out there at some point. Probably got to bring Carper in.
McClanahan can't hit the 3. Rapp able to touch the ball, but it trickles out of play and stays with the Titans, and the entire Hawaii coaching staff trying to make the appeal here, and they're going to change the call. That must have been the most convincing argument from a coaching staff ever, because I've never seen an official second-guess themselves that quickly.
That's why you always onside kick towards your sideline. So, you know, you get your coach to say, oh, it's our ball, our ball, our ball.
A rapid reaction there from the bench. Here's Beatty from the inbound. McClanahan in the corner. O'Day is there. Started his career at Sheridan Community College in Wyoming. Turning the corner on Bruton, elevating from 8 and hidden. Boy, this guy is so quick and knows how to use his size to create space for those jumpers. Now sitting with 8. Bruton on the response. He has 14, the only Titan in double digits.
Yeah, you're not getting that scoring output from Max Jones nor Grayson Carper. Just 3 for 12 as a team from downtown. Hawaii, not a great percentage at 5 for 16 long range, but they've made 5. And every couple minutes they hit 1, and it helps push that lead out again.
A little light full court pressure here. O'Day will now pick up Rapp. Clanahan with TSA in his grill. And they're going to call Torrey San Antonio for a reach and foul.
Torrey's got
that's his second rather.
It's interesting to see Torrey come back from the Santa Barbara game where he's matched up against A.J. Mitchell, who's a next level talent. Best player in the conference, I think, at that end for sure. Maybe overall. McClanahan, you talked about it before. He provides his own challenges as well, even though he's short. I mean, I was on down when Hawaii was warming up before the game. I'm like, hey, McClanahan's, much less than 6 feet tall, but he has that knack. Just like that little guy in the tournament last year, the March Madness guy.
And a traveling violation on Rapp. Will give it here to the Titans. Yeah, at 5'10", 175 pounds. Continuing to prove that size doesn't necessarily matter to be productive in basketball. Turnover number 9, by the way, for Hawaii. Both teams have done a pretty good job outside of the 4 turnovers and 5 possessions for the Rainbow Warriors. They have done a pretty good job of keeping possession. Titans with only 6 turnovers, but getting dominated on the glass. 33-13, Mike. This has shades of that Long Beach State game where Long Beach State had more offensive rebounds than Cal State Fullerton had total rebounds.
Yeah, rebounding is something I always figure with Hawaii is that they're going to be big. Even though they lost the 7-1 kid, a couple weeks ago, a couple games ago, they have Jacobs, who's like 6'9", 6'10". De Silva, we talked about him, how big he is. So they always have a couple bigs. They're almost like UC Irvine has usually been, and the Titan bigs are a little bit unproven. I think we got a technical foul.
We did get a technical foul there courtside. Because we're not sitting courtside, it's hard for us to pick up on who it is that was teed up here. But Coleman, a sure-handed free throw shooter at 82%, missing the first, but canning the second.
They gave it to Kabamba.
Words must have been shared for that technical to be picked up. So 15 points for Coleman. Kabamba's going to take a seat. Carper is now into the game, and the Titans will try and generate some offense. Carper brings really good defense as well, so as talented as Kabamba has been off the bench for this team, I don't think you're dropping off too much on that side of the ball, bringing in Carper. TSA may have been a bit ambitious on that pass, but comes the Titans' way nonetheless.
And here comes De Silva again.
And yeah, De Silva, who has been a huge plus player while he's on the court for Hawaii, checks back in. Hawaii has led for 98% of this game, including a 19-point lead at one point. Titans have been able to cut it to 12 2 different times. KDL from the flip from TSA. Great finish for the freshman. And with 10 minutes to go, it's a 14-point lead for the Rainbow Warriors.
Was 12 at halftime, if I'm correct?
It was 12 at halftime.
So you didn't gain anything, but you didn't lose a lot either. You just lost time. Next 5 minutes, hugely important.
McClanahan with 5. Ball tipped away from Rapp, who gets it back with 2. He's going to have to hoist it up at the buzzer and hits it. Boy, what a prayer that was answered for Ryan Rapp. His 6th 3 of the season. And it comes at a pivotal time. Lead back up to 17. KDL up and over De Silva. That is a veteran move from the freshman who has back-to-back baskets.
We talked about he's maybe the highest recruit, most sought-after recruit the Titans have ever had. He knows how to score a little bit, even against a veteran big body like De Silva.
Before that, it was Torrey San Antonio, who was the 11th ranked player in California at the time when he came over. Jacobs had it stripped away, but goes out to Coleman. Coleman with 7. DJ picking him up with 4. Coleman to the cup with 3. Losing it. getting it back with one, a shot clock violation, and the best defensive possession we have seen for the Titans here in the second half.
Yeah, a couple of those possessions earlier, they gave up something at the end of the shot clock. That time they were able to finish it, and they really got aggressive there. You know, Ron Gennady over on the far side, he thought there was a foul at some point on the possession when the Titans were going for a steal. They let him play that time, and now we got to get it done on this end.
Titans have won 5 straight against Hawai'i. But that streak,
including the tournament last year, right?
Including the tournament. That streak in question right now. JMS backing down to Silva and drawing some contact. So again, John Mikey Square continuing to attack here and forcing De Silva into some compromising defensive positions. That is foul number 3.
And on the box score, they have kind of a modern statistic, fouls drawn. Mikey Square has drawn every foul that De Silva has committed tonight.
And like we mentioned in that first half, he's out here playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers as JMS hits the front end. One-off home game for the Titans. They'll head up north to UC Davis and then back down south to Cal State Bakersfield for their next 2. Return home against Riverside on the 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. 13-point deficit, 8:37 to go. Doesn't feel out of reach yet, Mike.
Not out of reach. You talk about stretches. You just got to put a run on and take that timeout and see if you could double up on it.
Munoz in the corner, TSA hounding him, and actually that's Coleman. Munoz gets it back from Coleman. O'Day is there, flips it to De Silva. Now Rapp on the wing with 10. And his feed down low is punched away by John Mikey Square. Up to Donovan O'Day, out to Carper for 3, you bet! Carper laces a triple. The deficit is down to 10.
It didn't take much to get it down to 10. Titans needed that. Great poke from behind by DJ Bruton. He's done that a couple times.
7-0 Fullerton run. They're 5 for their last 6 from the field. Crowd is in it. Munoz with the answer. No! Ball punched away by De Silva out of JMS's grasp and tracked down by McCoy. And they didn't reset the shot clock, so it's going to be another opportunity here for Hawai'i. And actually, are they calling that an over and back?
No, I don't think they called it an over and back.
I think it was well, now the officials are discussing. There is a timeout on the floor. So we're going to step aside as they clean this up. I think it will be Hawai'i basketball with 20 on the shot clock when we return with the Titans on a 7-0 run here on ESPN+. Well, it's wet and cold outside, but it is hot inside Titan Gymnasium. Mike, I'm surprised you're not down there with him right now.
Well, you know me.
Do I?
Not 10 years ago, not 20 years ago.
Yeah, we'll leave it to Greek life to do what they do inside Titan Gymnasium. So to clean things up, it is Hawai'i basketball. They start this possession with 29 on the shot clock.
And that's because if they got the repossession in the backcourt, so that resets it up to a full 30. If they got that offensive rebound in the front court or forecourt, it would have been a 20-second shot clock reset.
Here's Munoz sitting with 10 points on 2 of 6 from 3, takes some contact. Actually immediately grabs that right heel, but as he stretches out, it looks like he's okay.
Smart play by Munoz. Look, he's got nowhere to go. He's not going to be going in left-handed. He really didn't want that. He leaned into the contact a little bit. Carper gave it to him, gave him that contact, gave him that out, bailed him out there.
Munoz spent 86 games at Longwood University, where he was a second-team All-Big South player. By the way, he's a 92% free throw shooter. He was 35 for 38 before missing that one.
I think he missed one last week on Saturday against Cal Poly, and so now two misses in a week when he had missed 2 all season.
Holds the Panther Creek High School all-time points record, and here he is 0 for 2, a rarity for one of the more sure-handed free throw shooters in the entire nation. TSA on the response, and he draws some contact from Munoz. Torrey San Antonio will head to the line for 2.
And Ron Gennady is wondering how they can make this clock go faster, because there's a lot of stoppages here. Look at this downhill turn by Torrey. Munoz hacks him. We'll see if Torrey can make Munoz pay for those free throw misses.
Max Jones, by the way, only 5 points here tonight. He's only played 19 minutes. The Titans have done most of their damage with him on the bench, as TSA is able to drop in the first one and cut it to a 9-point game.
It's single digits, Jonathan. Hasn't been that way in a while.
Munoz is going to check out here for Beatty. TSA goes 2 for 2. Big free throws for Torrey San Antonio. Coming up on 7 minutes to play, he has 7. McClanahan calling the shots from the perimeter. De Silva on the wing, Beatty on the other side of the shoulder. Down low to McCoy, double comes, triple comes. McCoy is able to bank it in nonetheless. Titans, though, looking to move quickly. San Antonio stepping into a 3, no. And then a foul is called after Coleman lost it. They're going to call a pushing foul, though it looked like TSA came from the front.
Yeah, that's a bailout, I think, from the stripes there, because he's dribbled this off Torrey's foot. So a little bit of
there
a
may
reach.
have been some contact with the thigh there, yeah. And Diedrich is trying to plead his case here on the sideline. Coach Taylor, his 11th season. What a job he has done here at Fullerton, leading them to an NCAA tournament appearance back in 2022, also in 2018. They always find a way to make some noise in the Big West tournament. And games like these can build all sorts of confidence if you can play down and come back. But right now, Hawai'i able to build that lead back up to 11 with another free throw coming for Nono Coleman. Played on the U18 Belgium national team, his home country. Boy, this Hawai'i team has just so much talent with experience playing for their home countries. Harper to TSA. Picked up by the freshman Beatty. On the post is John Mikey Square. Backing down De Silva. JMS able to draw contact again. And that is 4 fouls on Bernardo De Silva.
I mean, it's almost like Coach Taylor set that up. I mean, just for a game like this. I mean, Mikey Square doesn't have a lot of 6 points tonight. He has no fouls, which is really good. And he's drawn 4 fouls on the other team's best player. When you would not say Mikey Square, is the best Titan player, but he's drawn 4 fouls on the
He's
opposing.
the guy, he's one of the glue guys for this team. He's not going to stand out on the stat sheet, but if you watch him night in and night out, right, this is why I've coined him as the junkyard dog, because he is not afraid to do the dirty work. He is a smart player. When he has the basketball, he recognizes where the other team's weaknesses are, and Bernardo Silva on the bench or in foul trouble is a weakness for Hawai'i.
A super valuable player, Mikey Square.
Can't go 2 for 2, though. 1 for 2, and the deficit remains 11.
And by the way, when the Titans had it down to single digits, it had been since it was 12-4 that it was single digits.
TSA punches it away. That is the stifling defense of the reigning defensive player of the year. And he gets blocked from behind. It stays with Cal State Fullerton. And a trio of Titan coaches off the bench now to relay some information.
Good job by Hawaii. 2 guys getting back. It's not just 1 guy, it's 2 guys. You're in a no layup mode at this point. Yeah, you make a turnover, but you get 2 guys back.
And then an offensive foul prior to the inbound. John Mikey Square, they're saying hooked. I believe Noel Coleman. And Diedrich is livid right now. He's going to take a timeout. So they're going to call this a full timeout. We'll step aside. 63-52, under 6 minutes to go. Hawai'i in possession when we return on ESPN+.
What is the Big West? The Big West is where the Aloha spirit meets California cool. It's a place of unlimited opportunity on the court, in the classroom, and in the community. We're built different in the Big West. We find a way to win with hustle, heart, and hard work. What is the Big West? It's the place where dreams come true. The Big West, only the bold.
The abundance of stress on travel day creates the most unusual of situations. Bad fast? The ticking of the clock is like a fierce mother bear who hasn't eaten. Unfortunate for the stream of white shirts swimming with the lone red outlier. Good fast? Well, that's found at Ontario International Airport. Like a swift sailfish, ONT combines meticulous care and speed to master their surroundings. Because in the airport kingdom, faster is always better.
The 2024 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships return to the Dollar Loan Center March 13th through the 16th. Catch 4 incredible days of non-stop action from the best seats in the house. Get tickets now at FullertonTitanstickets.com or call 657-278-2783.
Cal State Fullerton hanging around, Mike, but right now Hawaii is taking advantage of some of those little situations that we've been talking about where the Titans are getting in their own way.
Yeah, tough foul there. I wasn't even sure if the Titans had the ball yet to inbound and they were calling a foul on Fullerton. But, I think it's a good timeout by Coach Taylor. Hey, a couple calls went against us. Let's settle down. Even before this last official timeout comes under 4 minutes, settle it down. You got it stretched out to a full timeout. You really settle things down and make the next move.
The reason that's impactful is because the Titans are now sitting with 9 fouls, which means the next one puts Hawaii at the free throw line 2 times over, double bonus. No free throws, though, on a foul that is committed prior to an inbounds, or no free throws, I should say. So just a team foul.
For offensive.
Or offensive foul. McCoy to Beatty. Munoz, or rather, McClanahan. Munoz is on the bench. 6'4" McClanahan, now 5. Backing his way through, getting TSA in the air, but he airballed the attempt. Thought there was a foul, no call. Titans with numbers. And TSA with an ambitious pass to DJ Bruton. It's off of Bruton's leg, and that is the second time we've seen Torrey San Antonio make a premature pass that has turned into a turnover.
Did not see the little guy McClanahan get back, but he sped his way back. You're trying to take advantage of De Silva being out of the game right now with 4 fouls. He may come back in at that 4-minute timeout. And so you have to figure it's Coleman, it's McClanahan going to take these shots. So Bruton guarding Coleman, and well, now Torrey switches out to McCoy, but let's see if he ends up back on McClanahan like he was last possession.
Max Jones has been on the bench for almost 10 minutes, by the way. Oh, John Mikey Square collides here into the auxiliary seating. Again, this is what he brings you. It's all heart, it's all hustle. And he definitely dented that auxiliary press table here on the near side.
If he was an MLB baseball player crashing into the wall like that, he'd be out 2 months with a shoulder. But John Mikey Square is back out there.
Dude, that guy is so tough. I honestly feel bad for the table.
You're right. That's the table. Yeah, check with the table. You should see the table. Yeah, they got to fix that. They got some media people sitting down there.
Both teams are going to their bench. They're going to review this play.
Mikey, you said his dad played football.
He did.
I know those genes are still in there. The football player, because he looked like he's hitting the blocking sled or something. He moved that thing back 3 feet.
JMS grew up in the D.C. area. Started his career at Fairleigh Dickinson. Actually left Fairleigh Dickinson to come here right before that FDU team that beat Purdue as the 16 seed. But I'll tell you what, the Titans are happy about that decision because he has been pivotal for Cal State Fullerton the last season and a half. I think they're reviewing whether or not he was actually the one who touched it last going out of bounds, and it was a very quick review. This is the 36th all-time game between these two teams. Hawaii leads 15-10. They actually got off to a 15-5 start in the series before Cal State Fullerton was able to rip off their previous 5 straight wins against this program. But Hawaii is trying to enact some revenge here on a Thursday night with under 5 minutes to go inside historic Titan Gymnasium in front of the biggest crowd that we've seen this season. McClanahan with 4 again, deep into the shot clock. Now 2, got stripped by Torrey San Antonio, who gets called for another foul. That is his 4th.
And McClanahan, veteran play, flails his arms, and let's see how much of it we can pick up. If that's some contact.
They got wrapped up. That's a good call. It's actually his third, so 2 Titans with 3 fouls. And McClanahan back to the line where he's a 68% free throw shooter. And that 8-assist game against Georgia Tech back in the Diamond Head Classic, a game where they just fell short of beating a Georgia Tech team that beat Duke last week. Also had that 23.5 steal game at CSUN. He has shown that he can really contribute at all 3 levels offensively. Missing the free throw, JMS tips it. McClanahan is in on the scrum. Ball is out of bounds, and it comes away to Cal State Fullerton.
A little bit of a break there. Bodies are falling all over the place. Somebody's going to hit that ball out of bounds or be touching it, contacting it with it out of bounds.
By the way, 36 rebounds for Hawai'i, 17 for Cal State Fullerton. TSA lost it, and maybe a makeup call of sorts as he got hit on the elbow.
McClanahan got him from behind. DJ Bruton has done that move a couple of times and done it very cleanly. McClanahan got Torrey on the elbow a little bit.
Max Jones continuing to sit on the bench. Played his first game with 30 or more minutes in a conference game this season, last game. But he's had his offensive struggles. He had 22 points against UC Santa Barbara in that huge win on the road, but against Cal Poly and against Bakersfield, he really struggled offensively, and you got to wonder if the coaching staff is feeling maybe the opportunity for some defense for O'Day and Kabamba, and then the offense for Carper and TSA is the way to go right now.
I feel like Max Jones probably at a point where he's forcing things a little bit. You know, some of the shots he's taking are a little bit forced.
And how about that defense from John Mikey Square again, continuing to contribute here.
You know what? There's always time in the season to come back around. I think DT's taking a little pressure off him right now. Keeping him out here. Because I think when Max Jones is out there, the defense's eyes are on Max Jones. They know he's coming downhill, and the Titans wanted to be one of their top scorers.
An offensive foul on JMS. The question here is if the contact was made. Let's see. I think that it was close to the arc. He was inside the restrictive area by like 2 feet.
He is the initial defender, so that's the exception to the rule, to the block charge rule in the restricted area.
Oh, so if you start out defending outside the restricted area and the charge is created inside the restricted area, you get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, if you're the initial defender. If you're a secondary defender, that's where you talk about big guys coming over and taking the block charge.
That is a fair rule and well explained here by the great Mike Martinez.
Well, I'm no Dean Blandino or Terry McCauley, but
you're your own person. You don't need to be like those guys. 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Titans trail by 10. Defense needs to happen here. McClanahan testing Carper, and a gorgeous shot from 15 to give him 9.
McClanahan's 5'10", Grayson Carper's 6'6", and he was able to get some separation there.
And a late whistle here after McClanahan made some contact. It looked like he got that punched away cleanly, but Torrey San Antonio will head to the free throw line after this timeout. 3:44 to go in the ball game. Hawai'i leads by 12. Back in a moment from historic Titan Gymnasium. 4 to go. Torrey San Antonio will stride to the line. Mike, you have some Big West score updates for us.
Yeah, Long Beach State 61, Bakersfield 59, last 6 minutes there, so that's a tight one. Not so tight down at La Jolla. Tritons, UC San Diego, whipping up on our old pal Andy Newman and CSUN, 81-60 over Northridge. Irvine pulling away from Cal Poly a little bit on the road. Now it's final, an Irvine win by 14. And they got a late start, 8 o'clock start at Santa Barbara, so it's still tight.
Is that nationally televised?
Mid-second.
Is that why?
I wasn't sure if that was a nationally televised game. I did not see that on the schedule. But
Titans, by the way, speaking of UCSB and nationally televised games, have announced they will be on national TV for a series game against UC Santa Barbara on the baseball field.
Oh.
Coming up here in May.
Like that.
66-56, TSA cuts it to 10.
And that is a television game tonight. full television national TV against Davis, Santa Barbara.
That makes me think that the great Roxy Bernstein is on the call.
Yeah, making a drive down the coast from the Bay.
He's already been on one UCSB broadcast. McCoy couldn't hang on, made the appeal for the hook. Officials don't bite, and the Titans force a pivotal turnover here with 3:26 to go.
You know, you reminded me of that Santa Barbara game a couple weeks ago where Roxy was calling the game. I think it was against Long Beach.
Yep.
That was the night of the Chiefs-Dolphins game that wasn't on TV, so that's what I was watching. I was watching Pac-12 and Big West basketball instead.
Nice. Here's Bruton in the corner. He's looking for his first three tonight. What a time to hit it. DJ Bruton, 17 points. Titans trail by 7. Wow.
The closest it's been in a long time.
Beatty trying to beat Carper, gets himself tied up in the corner. Carper tips it, and then a foul is called prior to the turnover, and then a technical foul is called. The Titans first force a turnover, but they call a whistle, or they call a foul prior to the turnover, and then Torrey San Antonio got teed up.
So 2 shots.
So that's going to be 4 free throws.
Yeah,
so
potentially,
here's the foul, apparently. I do my best to try and give credit where credit is due, but I just did not see that one. I don't know if you guys did, maybe. I'm sure the Hawaii fans did. So here comes Nono Coleman to the charity stripe.
Now that's one you'll need Jane Sarator for from CBS.
Yeah, you got nothing on that one, right? Under 3 minutes to go, and look, I'm not saying that the Titans haven't put themselves in this position, but what a time for a pivotal call like that to be made. Coleman is 2 for 2 from the line, and now 2 more free throws coming here. Tom Beatty, the freshman from Auckland, New Zealand, will get his opportunity here. 12 for 17 this season. Had his first start of his collegiate career last game against Cal Poly. Had a 12-point game against Hawai'i Hilo out of the Pac West. And he hits his first free throw.
You just got your Pac West reference in.
Oh, I have to get at least one on the broadcast. There's 2 for 2. Yeah, Hawaii shares the islands with Hawai'i Hilo and Hawaii Pacific, and Chaminade University, 3 very good Pac West basketball teams. Here's Bruton to the cup. Soren can't hit. He'll head to the line for 2 after being knocked down. I think it was De Silva, and I think that was his 5th. It is. So Bernardo De Silva with 9 points and 6 rebounds is fouled out.
First one that wasn't on Mikey Square, but Mikey Square set that table for Bruton to foul out the big guy from Brazil.
And you know, I'm thinking more about your point, Mike, about how it was clear Max Jones was forcing it a little bit. So what the coaching staff is doing is trying to keep him out of his own way a little bit, right? You try to put him on the bench, reset, build some confidence. He's been out for 18 minutes at this point, 15 minutes at this point. But this team has built an identity around Max Jones, and that identity now is shifting. And you can see that they're still trying to put the pieces together because Max Jones has been so pivotal offensively for this team. And now that he's been struggling and ultimately benched for the moment, they're trying to find and create other ways to generate offense that they're not used to.
Yeah, DJ Bruton is one of those guys, and there's a lot of time left in the season. We're still 6 weeks just from the Big West tournament. Championships.
Days fly by though, Mike. We're already in February.
Yeah, so you're pushing the buttons a little bit here.
By the way, it's still a 3-possession ball game.
It sure is. You're stopping to score and another stop and another score from being right back in it.
And then another stop and another score, and then you could be tied. Yeah. 2.5 to go. Coleman gets tied up, retreats to McCoy on the perimeter with 10, hands it off. Here's Rapp on the wing, back to McCoy with 7. Testing the defense of DJ Bruton with 4, McCoy with 2. He's gonna have to put this one up, and he hits over a trio of Titans again. The length of Justin McCoy at 6'8". He has 7, by the way, as Bruton loses the handle. A rare turnover for one of the better ball handlers in the conference, DJ Bruton. Here's the double coming from McClanahan. Swings it to Coleman near midcourt. And then TSA commits the foul. That is his 4th.
Not too many more full possessions you could really play because you're down 11. You might have to foul a little bit earlier than you might if you're just down 6 or 7. Then you're also giving them free points. And Coleman is likely to take advantage. He's an 82% guy. You know, a lot of their guys are in the 80s, if not 90s, but their team percentage is only about 70 or less. It's really a guy, guys like De Silva that don't shoot free throws and he gets there a bunch. But some of these guys can really shoot free throws, so they might be in good position with De Silva out and the rest of the guys out there.
Coleman's season high is 26. That came against his former school, the University of San Diego. Currently sitting at 20. Missing the back end, TSA keeps the rebound. Under 2 minutes to go, 12-point ball game. Torrey San Antonio to the cup, the scoop, and the score. 13 points for Torrey San Antonio. The press will look to be beaten. Here's Coleman crossing the timeline. Edey on the wing. Coleman has 12, turning the corner. Inside Coleman up against John Mikey Square, who blocks him. JMS saves it. Coleman is there with 5 on the clock. And a timeout taken here for Hawai'i, who had a pair left.
They did not have the arrow, so Ron Ganai was right on top of it. Knew he didn't have the arrow, knew he needed a timeout.
So we'll keep it here for the final 119, Mike. And it's really difficult when you build yourself a hole, when you're down at 1 point by, almost 19 points. They were down 31-11, so they were down 20 points with 4:29 to go in the first, Mike. We have seen moments where they were able to string together those possessions, right, where they were able to force Hawaii to turn it over 4 times in 5 possessions, where they were able to go on an 11-0 run. But as great as that is over the course of 4 or 5 minutes, when you get yourself into that hole, it's really, really difficult to come out of.
Yeah, you're not firing on all cylinders per se. If you had Max Jones going and you had, maybe one other guy going, you might be able to make it up in a ton. Maybe down the stretch, maybe things will be different, but you don't want to build yourself these types of holes. I think early on the shooting, they were 0 for 5, 0 for 6 to start the night from 3. I mean, that's across the board. That's not just on one player. And tonight, they shot 33% from 3. It needed to be up about 40.
Start shot clock for Hawaii, by the way. Coleman, and there's an offensive foul. Yeah, McCoy extended and tried to shed Torrey San Antonio. By the way, so UCSD wins tonight by 21 points. They have 6 conference wins by double digits, including the last 2 by 20.
DT needs them to look at the clock because it was running with the ball.
Yeah,
stopped.
it should be up near a minute.
Yeah, they could take a quick timeout and review that. Go on.
That was it. That was the stat.
Well,
I'm just 6 conference wins in double-digit wins, and then double-digit points, and then last 2 games over 20 points was the winning deficit, or the winning total.
It's really hard to beat a team 5 or 6 straight times. You said the Titans had a little bit of a streak against Hawaii. I mean, it's hard even coming in, feeling good, winning 3 straight. Hawaii didn't have a great January. It's still hard to beat teams 5 or 6 in this league. I don't know about some other leagues that are a little more top-heavy, but this league is very balanced all the way through, down to 8 or 9. Now you have UC San Diego that, DT was talking about them because I just had to ask, it's San Diego's 8-1. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, they're looking to see if this is a flagrant. I understand the extension above the shoulders, but I don't think that there's much more there than a common offensive foul.
And then the clock, they had to fix the clock.
And they're also looking at the clock.
DT said, San Diego, they're very specific. They may do things a lot different than other teams across the conference. And so they have their own niche. They get their own players. and they kind of do their own thing. It's been a difficult adjustment for Big West teams, as we see now. They're 4 years in, and they're going to be atop the conference, at least still tied with Irvine tonight.
And it's a young team. They're returning most of their talent next year, and who knows who they bring in on transfers as well. Here's Carper out of the timeout, turning the corner and getting a foul. So Grayson Carper is going to get to the free throw line for 3 free throws with 57 seconds. So ironically enough, that's exactly where the clock was prior to them adding a couple of seconds.
That's right.
Great play call, by the way. DT calling for a screen from John Mikey Square to Carper, who frees him up for a 3. Late closeout, turns into contact. And Carper, a very good free throw shooter at the line for now 2 more. Carper out of Fresno, went to Columbia Community College up in the southern Washington area. And talk about a guy who's really elevated himself here at Cal State Fullerton. He was only averaging 4 points a game last year, but it's not even his points per game total. It's his overall play. He was leading the team in rebounds for a while. He's first on the team in blocks. He plays great defense. He's smart with the basketball, and of course, he's a deadly shooter. And he goes 2 for 3. Ball taken here by the sophomore Rapp. Punched away by DJ Bruton, who will try a 3. No, John Mikey Square is there. Out to O'Day. You got to move quickly if you're the Titans. Carper hits the deck. O'Day has it. He's going to hoist it up. Ball out to John Mikey Square again on the offensive rebound. He's going to do it himself and lose it. Oh no, John Mikey Square. He forgot the basketball. Is Shaq watching? Because I think we have a Shaq'd in a fool here inside historic Titan Gymnasium.
Tragic here. That happens early in the game. You laugh it off, but here you're like, we could have made it a 6-point game.
Could have been 2 possessions.
Yeah.
And 3 opportunities for the Titans, by the way. They doubled up their offensive rebounding total on those 3 offensive rebounds.
A little sweat on the ball. It's the end of the game for the ball, too.
More stifling full court defense. McCoy had it punched away by O'Day. Stays with the Rainbow Warriors. There's about a 6-second difference between that shot clock and the game clock.
Man, can you imagine if they got it down to 6?
I can imagine, Mike, actually.
Yeah. It's not Mikey Square's fault. He had 2 hands. It's not like he's showboating. He had 2 hands on the ball.
No, he did everything he could.
He wasn't super close to the basket either, and he had given up his dribble, so he needed to extend like that to get up for the dunk, and he was going in. He was probably 8 feet in front of the
That's
basket.
how good at defense he is, that he accidentally plays it on himself sometimes. McClanahan got fouled, by the way. That'll send him to the charity stripe for 2. An opportunity once again to make it a 10-point game. DJ Bruton picking up his 3rd. 9 points tonight. Leads a team with 4 assists. Into double digits now with 10. Hawaii at UC Irvine on Saturday. 7 o'clock West Coast start here. Pacific time, I should say. Cal State Fullerton up to UC Davis.
Oh, the Titans aren't playing the Saturday matinee this week.
No, they have their, quote, bye week this weekend. So they'll be at Davis in a week's time. We'll be back here with you against UC Riverside on the 15th. Here's Carper. He's going to hoist it and drain it. Grayson Carper doing Grayson Carper things. Quick timeout for Dedrick Taylor with 24 seconds to go. Carper has 11. And this is now when you can go back and recollect, what if it was a 6-point game?
Maybe then now down to a 5-point game. But yeah, you don't. I said it in the first half. A little bit of a bad luck. Just a little bit of bad luck in that first half for Fullerton, and it comes down right even to the 40th and last minute, where you have, a reliable guy, 2 hands on the ball. He's going up for a dunk, and the ball squirts out, and you miss a valuable 2 points. It's kind of a weird night.
And to your point, Mike, the Titans are shooting 61% in the second half. They're 18 for 22 from the free throw line in the second half. And they're still losing this ball game, largely because Hawaii got off to that big start, but also Hawaii has 18 more rebounds than Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, Titans are even 4 for 7 from downtown in this half. They have the great percentage.
And the Titans only have 12 turnovers. The Rainbow Warriors have 16. So if you just looked at the second half stats of this game, and then we told you what was actually happening, you'd be a little confused. But again, that's why you have to play all 40 minutes of this game. You can't just win a half. And a quick timeout here from the Hawai'i bench because that was very close to a 5-second violation.
Yep, and they just used their last timeout.
This is what Coach Dedrick Taylor is masterful at, though. Extending games, right? This is what makes a great coach. It is recruiting. It is maximizing the talent that you have. But it's also continuing to give your team, coaching to give your team more and more opportunities when it feels like that the flame has burnt out just a little bit.
You know, I was watching the Hawaii broadcast from last week when it was they were hosting Cal Poly, and I was looking at this broadcast timeline on the ESPN Plus archive, and because all broadcasts are streaming in archive. 2 hours 30 minutes on the broadcast. I'm like, wow! And I looked at the foul shooting statistics. They shot 37 foul shots in the second half last week. They're up to 22 here in this.
Yeah,
half.
we're bordering baseball time right now.
Yep.
Rapp able to get it in, but DJ Bruton actually wraps up the back of Coleman. And that's going to send No Coleman to the line for 2 more.
They're going to take us right into that Fullerton, Hawaii women's game that's starting right about now.
I forgot about the late start for them.
Yep.
Great night for Coleman. 20 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 6 for 8 from the free throw line. He's done a little bit of everything, a pair of rebounds, a steal, a block.
Meanwhile, Bakersfield has wrested the lead away from Long Beach.
How about that?
Last minute of the game.
Long Beach State has been faltering a little bit here towards the middle part of conference play. They look beatable, and Cal State Bakersfield certainly trying to prove that on a Thursday night.
UC San Diego ended up winning by 21 over Northridge. Irvine won by 14 at Cal Poly.
So the top isn't going to change much.
Right. They're both going to be 9-1, Anteaters and Tritons.
What changes now is you have CSUN, Hawaii, and Fullerton all tied in the middle part of the conference. That's fun.
It's a big pack.
Wild, Wild West in its name. TSA hoists one up off the back iron. Ooh, Coleman hit a wall of Grayson Carper, and they're going to call it off of Hawaii, so the Titans get it back. A hair under 14 seconds to go.
Look at these guys. They're not going anywhere.
Again, just continuing to scrap and fight to the finish. Torrey San Antonio again to the cup, hangs and turns it over. McClanahan will run this thing out, and that will do it. Hawaii has strung together a pair of wins, including a dominant win here, 76-68 in a game where they led by as many as 20, en route to a 4-6 record here in the Big West Conference. The Titans drop to 4-6 here in the Big West Conference, and they tie the season series at 1 apiece. Definitely a different feel to this game than the one on December 31st.
Very difficult to beat Hawaii twice in a season. The Titans did knock them out last year in the Big West Championships. You would have thought, hey, you go to Hawaii and you get a win early in conference play, you might have a chance to sweep them. This would be your chance. You get Max Jones back, but it wasn't a good first half in any way, shape, or form for Fullerton except for those last 4 minutes. Hawaii really came in. They had everything going. They shot the ball very well. They shot the ball very well in the first half compared to the game last week where they were 4 for 21 from 3 and then they were 5 for 23 against the Titans from 3 the first time. Tonight, 6 for 18. Wasn't like a great percentage, but it was a little better than those. Helped them all night long to shoot the 3 a little bit better.
6 days off for the Titans. Day number 7. That's a week from today. They'll be up in Davis to take on the Aggies. But that's going to do it for us here from Cal State Fullerton. Hawaii wins 76-68 for Mike Martinez. My name is Jonathan Rifkin saying so long from Cal State Fullerton. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Enjoy your weekend. Titans back next week against UC Davis.